The air was heavy with whispers. The palace gates hadn't closed since I left. People stayed behind, arguing in hushed tones, watching every movement like a hawk circling prey. Obina met me halfway down the footpath. What happened? They listened, I said. But I don't know if they believed. He touched my shoulder. You did something no one in this village has dared. You spoke your truth. You cracked their wall. I think I poked the lion instead, I muttered. We got back to Mama F's compound, only to find a crowd gathered outside. What now? Obina frowned. A loud voice shouted, "Let her speak." Then we saw her, an old woman, skin like burnt clay, wrapped in faded blue. Her eyes were cloudy, but her words were sharp. "I have waited long enough," she shouted again. Mama F came out, confused. "What is this, Auntie MMA?" "I know who that girl is," the old woman said, pointing at me. I knew her mother. I knew what they did to her. And I know what this one is running from. People gasped. "Who is she?" I asked in a whisper. Obina whispered back, "That's MMA Jego. She's from the next village. Some say she used to be a seer. Others say she vanished years ago after accusing a chief of killing his brother." MMA Jego stepped forward. "I saw you the day your mother died," she said. "I was by the stream. Your mother was running. Bleeding. Holding something close to her chest. My heart thudded. I saw her give that thing to someone hiding in the trees." "Who?" Mama F asked. MMA Jego looked straight at me. "She gave it to a man. A man with a scar above his brow." "Your uncle." I froze. "Uncle Ifoni," I whispered. Obina frowned. "But he left for the city that year." MMA Jego nodded. "He didn't leave. He was sent away. Paid off. Because he knew too much." She turned to the crowd. "Your village has buried the truth. This girl is not cursed. She's a threat to those who thrive in silence." Alabo suddenly appeared, breathless, like she'd been running. "What is this madness?" she hissed. "Who brought this witch here?" MMA Jego's voice thundered. "Call me witch again, and I'll curse your shadow, Alabo." Alabo stepped back. "You lied to the chiefs," MMA Jego continued. "You burned the shrine. And you killed that girl's mother." The crowd erupted. Alabo laughed, loud and hollow. "You old fool. No one will believe you." Then MMA Jego raised her hand. And from her wrapper, she pulled out a necklace. A familiar necklace. My mother's necklace. "I took this from her body," she said, handing it to me. "It was meant for you." My hands trembled as I held it. Alabo's face turned pale. "I thought it was gone," she whispered. Obina stepped forward. "You knew about this necklace?" Alabo didn't answer. She just turned and ran. But this time, the crowd followed. The night didn't come quietly. It came with fire in the sky and screams in the distance. I stood outside Mama F's hut, clutching my mother's necklace like it was the only air left to breathe. Obina paced beside me, fist clenched. "They've gone to her house. The villagers. Will they hurt her?" I asked. He paused. "I don't know." Then we heard it, shouting. Angry. Loud. Close. Mama F ran out. They've surrounded her gate. I stepped forward. "Adana, no," Obina said, grabbing my arm. "This is what she wanted. Chaos. If you go there, it'll only get worse." "Then let it get worse," I snapped. "I won't hide while she burns in the same fire she lit for me." We ran. Through narrow paths. Past huts where children peeked from behind curtains. Past men sharpening machetes, unsure what side they were on yet. When we reached Alabo's compound, a crowd had gathered. Men, women, youths. They shouted curses. Some threw stones. Her windows shattered. I pushed through them, heart pounding. Then I saw her. Alabo. Standing on her veranda, arms raised, voice shaking. "You fools," she screamed. "You believe an old mad woman over me. I fed you. I clothed your children." Someone threw a piece of wood. It hit her arm. She stumbled. A young man shouted, "You lied to us. You called the girl cursed. But you're the one who hides behind darkness." Then Obina stepped forward. "This is not the way," he shouted. "Let her face the council again. Let her answer with her own mouth." Some nodded. Some didn't care. I climbed the steps, facing her. She stared at me, sweat rolling down her temple. "I should have finished you that night," she spat. "You should have died like your mother." The crowd gasped. I raised the necklace in the air. "You tried. But I carry her in me. And now, the whole village knows." "Do you think they'll keep loving you?" she hissed. "They'll turn on you again. They always do." "Then let them," I said. "But I won't become you to survive them." The chief's guards finally arrived, pushing through the crowd. "We'll take her to the palace," one said. Alabo resisted, but they dragged her away. And still, the villagers stared at me. Some looked sorry. Others, unsure. The fire had died, but the smoke still hung in the air. Obina walked over and placed his hand on my back. "You were brave." "I was scared," I whispered. "But you stood anyway." Mama F came close and cupped my face. "Your mother would be proud." I looked around at the broken windows, the dirt, the eyes still burning. "She didn't die for this," I whispered. "She died hoping I'd live in peace." "Then it's your turn to build it," Mama F said softly. I nodded. Even though peace still felt far away. Even though danger still stood in the shadows, the palace was packed. More packed than I had ever seen it. People stood shoulder to shoulder, some even climbing the outer walls to get a glimpse of what would unfold. Even the market had gone quiet, like the entire village was holding its breath. Alabo sat on her knees in the center, wrist tied, head high like a snake ready to strike. She wasn't broken. She was waiting. The head chief cleared his throat. "Alabo, the evidence against you is heavy. You are accused of lying to this council, abusing a child under your care, attempting to burn the village shrine, and, most serious of all, conspiring in the death of Neka, the late healer." The murmurs grew louder. Alabo smiled. "And you don't deny it," one elder barked. She laughed. "What is the use of denial when your minds are already made up?" "Because the punishment is death," the elder snapped. Gasps rippled across the crowd. I swallowed hard. I didn't want her blood. I just wanted the truth to live. Alabo turned her eyes to me, cold and mocking. "And what about her?" she said, pointing at me. "You think she's innocent? You think she came back to this village by accident?" The crowd shifted. "What are you talking about?" I asked, stepping forward. She grinned. "Oh, sweet child, your story didn't begin with your mother's death. It began the night she found out who your real father was." My mouth went dry. "What?" The palace froze. The chief leaned forward. "Explain yourself." Alabo's voice dropped. "She was never just a healer's wife. She was the daughter of the old king." Dead silence. "She ran from the palace after he died," Alabo continued. "She refused to be forced into a political marriage. Instead, she hid in the village, changed her name, married a simple man, and gave birth to this one." The chief slammed his staff on the ground. "Lies. Alabo didn't flinch. Ask the shrine. Ask the scrolls. Her blood is royal. She is the missing seed of the night palm lineage. I couldn't breathe. My heart thundered. I turned to Mama F, whose face had turned pale. You knew. She closed her eyes. I suspected. Obina grabbed my hand. Adana. No, I whispered. What does this mean? Alabo laughed. It means you're not just the girl under the mango tree. You're the key to the throne. And that's why they'll never let you live in peace. The chief rose to his feet. This hearing is over, he said. Alabo will be imprisoned until final judgment is passed. Guards dragged her away, but her laughter echoed through the palace. I stood frozen, heart pounding, as the crowd looked at me with new eyes. Not with pity. Not with hate. But with fear. Obina turned to me, his voice low. Adana, this changes everything. And I knew he was right. Because now, I wasn't just a survivor. I was a threat. The sky turned grey that morning. Even the birds seemed too afraid to sing. I sat on a stool behind Mama F's hut, staring at nothing. The air felt heavier than usual. Like the wind was listening. Obina sat beside me, arms crossed. Say something. What do you want me to say? I whispered. That you're okay. I'm not. He sighed. Neither am I. Mama F came out, holding a torn scroll in her hand. She placed it gently on my lap. This was hidden behind the shrine, she said. Your mother wrote it before she died. I've kept it all this while. My fingers trembled as I opened it. The paper was old. But her handwriting, still strong. If you're reading this, it means the truth has come. My daughter, forgive me. I hid you from the throne to keep you alive. Power is dangerous when it's built on secrets. But your heart is strong. Stronger than mine ever was. If they come for you, don't kneel. Rise. Mama. I broke. Right there, the tears I'd been holding for years poured out. Obina pulled me close. You don't have to decide anything now. But I already knew. The decision was no longer mine. Because just then, footsteps approached. Loud. Firm. Men from the palace. Behind them stood Princess Onika, the late king's only surviving niece. She was tall, dressed in silk wrappers, and her eyes sparkled like she already knew she hated me. Are you the girl they call Adana? She asked coldly. I stood up. Yes. She looked me up and down. I came from the city as soon as I heard. You think you can walk into the village with your dirty slippers and claim royalty? I didn't claim anything, I replied. The truth spoke for itself. She stepped forward. You are a threat. You think the throne will accept someone who grew up washing plates in another woman's kitchen? Obina moved protectively in front of me. You don't speak to her like that. She ignored him. The council will meet today. You'll come. Or we'll drag you. Then she walked off, leaving her words like poison behind. I turned to Mama F. Why is she here? She wants the throne, she said. But with your blood, she can't take it easily. I felt sick. This wasn't about healing anymore. This was about war. Power. And legacy. Obina held my hand. Whatever happens, I won't leave you. I looked him in the eye. Even if they try to kill me. He nodded. Even if they try to kill us both. The village bell rang in the distance, calling for the emergency council meeting. Mama F pressed a charm into my palm. For strength, she whispered. I looked up at the grey sky. Maybe Mama was right. Maybe I was born for this. But walking into that palace again felt like walking into a lion's mouth.